weekly accountability meetings, accountable to whatever your goals, tasks, to-do list was. If you're not familiar with 12-Week Year is a book written by Morin and Lennington, and they go over just pretty much taking how we can take the end of the year push, that same type of energy that a lot of us have at the end of the year, and incorporate that into your every 12 weeks. 12-week year, we are genuinely taking a goal, a set of goals, however many goals you have, and you are working towards reaching those goals in 12 weeks so that you potentially have achieved 4 goals in a year, or however you're doing your time. And so instead of working on one goal for the year, you have multiple things that you potentially have achieved within the 12 weeks. And so you've had a very productive full year. Now, one thing it does say is that your goals are not the same. So it's not like one goal for the year and you're just kind of breaking down goals to get to the one goal. It's literally different goals that will move you in whatever the pendulum you're looking to be moved in whatever direction you want. Now, for me, the overall goal, because I did create a theme for myself because I don't want to lose sight of the theme. It's very easy to kind of get derailed when you're moving as fast as you. But the one thing that I did want to just mention that I liked about the 12-week year was that in the midst of you working on your 12 weeks, you could easily make adjustments quickly in 12 weeks. So if, for instance, and I've experienced this as I started planning, as I'm going through the weeks, I realized I was very ambitious in the first week. So a lot of what I was trying to get done, I wasn't able to get done. And so I realized I'm going to have to edit throughout the month in order to find my rhythm. Well, if I was operating on doing it for the full year, I could have potentially not found that out until April. And so now when I could have maybe made some edits back in January or at the early onset of starting something, you've allowed 4 months to go by without, edits, making adjustments and different things like that. So although this is the weekly accountability meetings that we'll be doing, this is the board meeting. The one thing that I wanted to share about doing the board meeting was I wanted to start now when it's just me. As I'm thinking about relaunching my business, this time I'm in a mind frame of the owner, not an employee, not, as a side hustle or anything like that, but as the woman who owns the business. And one of the things that I learned over the years, especially when I was not working the business, I was completely in the off time, was what it takes in order to run the business if I get it to the full potential that I see it as now. I'm going to need at least 11 people to run the business. And so if I'm going to need 11 people, I want to have things in place already so that when I'm onboarding, when I'm bringing in the team, there's things already being done, already being set up. And why not start now with myself by having these weekly accountability meetings so that it doesn't feel like foreign or I don't really know how to introduce it, because I really want this to be like a culture in Juicebox. I want it to be a culture in when we're working in our businesses and starting the thing that we're starting or bringing in people and different things like that. So that was the most important things you can do is think about your long-term goals. They call them aspirations. And the aspirations are usually your 1-year aspiration. So for us, it's 2027. Your 3 to 4 year aspiration, which could take you into 2030. And then 10-year aspiration, which, that's exactly what it is, a 10-year aspiration. Now, for me, and I just want to hit some highlights. Aspirational goals 2036. Retire from in-person business, food content media company prospering, multifamily home purchased. 3-year vision, aspiration. 2029, have a loyal community facilitating digital wellness events, cash flow 100K in profit, have storefront and truck fully operating with 11 team members. Year one, so by 2027, I would like to lock in on digital content, have 60 videos posted, and creating my financial statement. So those are the themes for me in the next, over the years of my aspirations. Now, clearly these things can change. Life will change. And so they are flexible, but they are things that when I sat down and wrote out my aspiration, the 10-year aspiration was the big one. And when you do the 10-year aspiration, it was something that I literally sat down and journaled. And I journaled pretty much the life that I see myself having. So just to give you an example, just to kind of get your brain going on what the journaling will look like I said, retired from in-store work by 2036. That'll make me 57. Not necessarily retired from working, right? I may still be, I wouldn't even be old enough to fully retire like in my 9 to 5. But at a point where my business is making or doing what I would like for it to do, where I'm no longer in the storefront and I'm no longer in the food truck. Something else that I didn't share, but I would like to be doing 10 years from now is being able to pay for family vacations for my entire family. Now, having those type of aspirations will really help you to lock into the work that's getting done, today. Now, 10 years feels like a long time, but it's not. And I do know that it's going to take me today doing the things that I need to do now in order for those goals and aspirations to happen in 10 years. And so you sometimes have to, there is no sometimes, you have to create a map for yourself so that the compass will always stay true north, because in life, as we know, we can all deviate towards the quick thing, the easy thing, the fun thing, and then 10 years from now comes and you have nothing, right? Do your aspirations. And again, you would have a 10-year. I would start at the 10-year, and then you do the 3 to 4 year, and then you do the 1 year. And the great part about all of those goals and the aspirations that you write, they're all leading toward the same thing. And that is the bigger 10-year goal. So in this year, I'm creating a theme for the year. Now, the theme for Juicebox, because again, this is for like my business, and the theme for the year is to bring all of my businesses together. So as we acquire the additional things, I pretty much compartmentalize them to all be something separate. And all is done with the same calendar. So that was the goal for this quarter, was to just bring everything together all under the umbrella. Do the aspiration, create a theme. At least that's what I'm doing. You don't have to create the theme. That is completely up to you. Then you create the goal for the quarter. The main focus that I've been on for the business is the content, the online, the digital portion, as far as like recording this video. I have other content that I'm working on so that we can start posting recipes and like a cooking portion of Juicebox and just, different things like that. And that's where we want to move to so that we can etch ourselves on the online space. So now that we have the goal, which we'll say is posting posting out of 60, let's just say posting 15 videos this quarter. Now, but the 15 videos this quarter that'll help me get to the goal of the 60 videos by the end of the year are mainly the food content videos, the things that will be posted on JBTV. Also includes Sip and Chat, the podcast, that includes food content for JBTV, which is the coming YouTube channel. And so what I'm learning is that when I would do my calendar, the calendar would say my content calendar. Let me share. So I would come in and do all the things, but in order to post the blog, I need to brainstorm titles, topics, ideas. Once you do that, create the blog, write it up, get some imagery, whether it be stock images or my own images or whatever the case may be. And so when do I take time to create the blog in order to post the blog? So if the blog is being posted twice a week, when am I taking out the time to write them up? Do I need to batch record? Is it a batch, created? Is it something that, we're taking time out 2 hours a month to kind of brain dump, edit, kind of get the ball going, and then plug and play, maybe add a few things as we get closer to posting, so that I'm not spending every day of every night creating blog posts when I need to now do videos and different things like that. So really understanding that the goals are very important, so you can know how to break down what has to be done, because that is where the daily work comes in. So let's go back to the 15 videos that goes towards the 60 total videos posted onto a YouTube channel, not a YouTube channel, onto Juicebox TV YouTube channel, because again, I have to be specific about the goals that I have and what I'm doing. I have to be specific about the work that I have to get done, because now when I have my board meetings are going to take twofold. Board meetings are going to be me recapping the week, which is part of, the 12-week year. And then it's also setting up for the upcoming year to make sure that my goals for the week, my tasks for the week are etched out. But then there's a caveat where I'm recording the board meeting. So I have to know what the hell I'm doing when I get into this cubby so that I can get it done. And then when I get home, I can just turn myself off and be home, right? Because I've gotten the work done for this. And then in this, I've planned out what each day looks like, so that tomorrow when I wake up, I'm pretty much checking off the check boxes to know what work. All of this takes time. So just putting up posting on YouTube is not enough. Breaking it down to what it will look like is really going to help to understand what's going to be expected. And let's go back, because I didn't mention this, but everything that I talked about, it feels a lot. It sounds like a lot. I'm overwhelmed just talking about it. And it feels like I won't have enough time to do things. And one of the things that the book talks about, and I did my time audit. I'm not going to share what my findings were, because what I found out was I waste a lot of time. I waste a lot of time on social media. I waste a lot of time watching TV. And so once I did the time audit, I recognized that I have more than enough time to record, to edit, script out. Time audit. That's definitely something that you want to incorporate before you even get started on any of this. And then the last thing, you don't need anything to get started. You don't even have to buy the 12-week year. You can listen to it on YouTube. I'll put the link in the notes. Listening to the book, choosing your aspirations, and your tool. And the tool could be a pen and paper, Notion, Google, your notes, your whatever Apple has for notes, any of those things like that to get started. And lastly, come back next week, because this is the season of accountability. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not your accountability partner. I'm not. I don't even have the wherewithal to be accountable to myself. So I'm not here to be accountable to you. I'm here for us to be accountable together and to use the weekly accountability meetings to do what it does. Build community, encourage each other to reach whatever goals we have for ourselves. And again, even though this is a board meeting specifically for my professional side, it will touch on all of the areas of life that I am working on currently. And that's another thing that the 12-week year talks about, is the areas of life. So my areas of life include spiritual, personal, family, finances, leisure, education, and professional. Now, professional, as I stated, is my business side, and that has some subcategories in them. So in the professional, I have branding, community, income, and education. That's what the board meetings are, guys. And I really look forward to what this can bring. For, like I said, I'm not your accountability partner, but I am here to partner with you to help ourselves be accountable, keep our word to ourselves, and, really move into what we say we want for ourselves. And it starts with discipline, doing it when you don't feel like it. It's negative degrees in Philadelphia, and I'm here about to trek out, excuse me, to make my way home, all because I wanted to keep my word to doing a weekly board meeting. So that's that, guys. I will see you on the next.